Hello, my name is Matthias Cavodio. I'd like to welcome you guys to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the Avengers Initiative series. It's one of my all-time favorite Avengers series. It's right up there with West Coast Avengers or the Heroes Returns era of the Avengers 2. This particular series, from issue 1 to the last one, it's freaking solid. I think Dan Slott and Gage were the writers for the whole run. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure. I'm sure. We're going to cover issues 4 through 7, where I know Dan Slott and Gage wrote these issues. Also, the first annual. Before I spoil the hell out of it, just if you haven't read the series, go out, get your hands on it. It's really worth the while. We get it from issue 1. I don't remember how many issues it ran for, but it ran for quite a bit. It was really good. And I hope we're going to be able to cover all of them on this channel. So the first 2 issues are tie-ins into the World War Hulk crossover. And these 2 tie-ins actually are pretty solid. Normally this isn't the case. Like normally crossovers hijack series and you get so stories, or you feel like there's sometimes cash grabs. They would slap the name of the crossover on the cover, and it's like the title is very marginally involved, or maybe you get some really sloppy stories. But every once in a while, you get these really good tie-ins. In this case, with the Initiative, they do a great job. There's a pretty important impact on the Initiative series and a small impact on the overall story. So we start off with Hardball. He's actually he's one of the members of the Initiative, and actually this is the first and only series where this character pops up, because I think after the Initiative he pretty much disappears. He's a double agent for Hydra, so Hydra sends him to steal some Stark technology called Spin, which is actually used to depower heroes that have gotten out of line or not registering. They pump them full of these nanites and they can't use their powers anymore. But what happens is that he steals it from like this. There's a group of vials, and all these vials are actually tailor-made to take down the Hulk. So he takes one out, and this leads to that in the crossover, when Tony uses the Spin technology on the Hulk, since he doesn't have all the vials, the Spin technology is not able to take hold, and he's not able to defeat the full Hulk, and he gets his ass totally handed to him. Like the Hulkbuster armor is totally destroyed. So that happens because of Hardball. He stole that little vial. So we have the recruits here: Hardball, Komodo. There's actually a ton of recruits, and the Initiative brings and shines a light on a lot of really obscure characters with some really good stories. So Hardball, Komodo. I can't remember the name of this particular She-Thor. I'm gonna have to look her up. And we have 3 members of the New Warriors: Rage, Slapstick, and Ultra Girl. And another really good thing about the series is that as this run progresses, we're gonna have the return of the New Warriors. Pretty much the original lineup is gonna come back. They're gonna be major players within the Marvel universe during this time, and that I really enjoyed, because I really got into one of the first comic book series that I ever got back when I was a kid was New Warriors. Right when I started collecting, the New Warrior series came out with Darkhawk, and I was already hooked with X-Men and Spider-Man. So like those are the 4 first series. X Factor 2, 5, where I started reading those comic books way back in the day. So what happens in this particular story? Hulk arrives to New York City. He wants to make the Illuminati pay. Wants to take down Iron Man, Doctor Strange, Reed Richards, Xavier, and I think I'm missing one of the Illuminati there, probably. But what's important to this story is that the Initiative is sent to New York City to help evacuate it. But Rage immediately stops following orders and starts trying to stop people from looting the stores. His teammates go in and help him, and they're sort of pumped after taking down these hoodlums that were trying to loot these stores. So they think to themselves, if we can stop these looters, we can probably stop the Hulk. So they build up this small team to go out and stop Hulk and the Warbound. So we see the Warbound have totally destroyed the new Avengers and the Mighty Avengers. So it's sort of funny because these guys are all insanely powerful, and the members of the Initiative, like they are pretty powerful, but nowhere near as powerful as these guys. So you know they're going to get their asses totally handed to them. In issue number 5, we have the introduction of the Shadow Initiative, like the Black Ops team of the Initiative. We have Trauma. He can actually like change his shape into what is your worst enemy, worst fear. Mutant Zero, that, spoilers, is Typhoid Mary, and it took me forever to realize it was Typhoid Mary. Like, they gave a shit ton of clues, and I didn't realize it until she like unmasks. Constrictor, I always loved this loser. Iron Spider, and I think this guy's called Tamil Tiger or something like that. I think we get the story of how each of the members of the Shadow Initiative were recruited. They get the news that some of the Initiative members have been kidnapped and captured by the Warbound. You see how they got their asses totally handed to them. So they have to go in, rescue these kids. And here's one really good moment in the story. So the Shadow Initiative saved the normal Initiative kids. They're making a run for it, and the Hulk arrives. So what happens is Trauma uses his powers so his teammates can escape and get them some time. He shapeshifts into Hulk's worst nightmares. And for a moment there, like, he's starting to get a little bit of an upper hand on the Hulk. First he changes into Abomination, then into Juggernaut, then into Hulk's dad, then Banner himself. Like, he's trying to really break him down mentally. And then his powers stop working because the Hulk manifests as like, man, I'm not afraid of anything. And the Hulk just totally destroys poor Trauma. So Hulk tells him, he's like, kid, I'm going to let you live. But next time you're going to be as lucky. He's left in the hospital. Issue number 6 is a fantastic standalone story. We have the drill sergeant of the Initiative called, his name is Gauntlet. He has a pretty interesting power. He's a pretty interesting character. But when he starts drilling down on the recruits, he uses New Warriors as an insult because they are the ones responsible for the Stanford school explosion. So he always uses the New Warriors as examples of how to really fuck up. But the thing is, this is starting to rub the ex-New Warrior characters the wrong way. So what happens in the story? Somebody jumps Gauntlet, totally kicks his ass. So they imprison all the members of the Initiative that are New Warriors because they're suspect. So we have Ultra Girl, Rage, Slapstick, Debris. We didn't see her previously. Also Justice, who is like one of the leaders in the Initiative, but also an ex-New Warrior. He's thrown in prison too. And one really cool thing is, in the story, we get to see how fucked up in the head Slapstick is and how things are not okay in his head. But we go through the story, and like, the interrogators establish a motive for each one of the ex-members of the New Warriors to why they would take down and want to hurt Gauntlet. So they go through each one of the stories of each member. So it's really good writing. I really enjoyed it. And so they go through the scenario with Rage, with Justice. Then what happens is Gauntlet wakes up and he says, no, actually none of the New Warriors did this. He says it was Ghost. Ghost is like a Iron Man villain. He was stealing some type of information to implicate Tony Stark. And they should let go of the New Warrior characters. And he doesn't apologize, but he stops using New Warriors as an insult. But we sort of get the scene at the end with Slapstick that it's possible. It's like, it's never confirmed that like Slapstick has dreams of wanting to kill Gauntlet, and it's possible that Slapstick was the one responsible for the situation. Issue number 7, we have the Iron Spiders, the clones of MVP. They have to get back this briefcase that was stolen by the Volturians, something like that they're called. And they end up teaming up with Spider-Man. So this is a pretty good story where the Iron Spiders get to work with the real deal, even though he's an unregistered hero. They appreciate Spider-Man actually having helped him, and seeing that Spidey always does the right thing. So they sort of cover for Spidey when they try to capture him. So this is also a pretty good standalone story. And we get the annual, and in this annual we get the origins of Gauntlet. That there were two aliens fighting in space. One had the Tactagon that I'm going to cover in another video, but it's like it's going to be pretty important in this series. And Gauntlet's Gauntlet being super redundant. These two aliens fighting over Earth. They die. They fall to Earth. Gauntlet retrieves his weapon in a mission in Afghanistan or something like that, fighting against Hydra. Then we get the story of what happened to Armory, the character that had the Tactagon, that I'm going to get into in another video. And we get the origins of Hardball, how he actually became a double agent for Hydra, and his whole relationship with a character called the Power Broker. And in the last story, also the origins of MVP, where his powers come from, where actually he's the grandson of the guy that made the superhero serum for Captain America. Can't remember his name. Abraham Erskine. There we go. It's right on this page. And he wanted to create a super soldier without using a serum. So basically MVP gets his powers for being actually through exercise and diet. And he becomes like the maximum form of person. The maximum power level a normal person can have is through this special regimen of exercise and diet. So it's a pretty weird place to have an origin. And in the final pages we get this one of these initiative teams in Philadelphia to take down Flag Smasher, and at the end of the story we get a glimpse that one of the members is a Skrull, because they're going to build up into the Secret Invasion. And the Initiative Secret Invasion tie-ins really kick ass. So hope you guys like this video. See you guys next time. Bye.